What's up, guys? Michael LaValle, Bassmaster Opens Pro. Just want to do a quick recap on the first Eastern Open out in Florida on the Kissimmee chain. Back home in Utah now. Everything that you read about and hear about and other people that have been to Florida tell you about is true. Florida fishing is different than anything I've ever experienced, as far as no contour changes, no real way to use your electronics offshore except for, finding grass and water temperature and the mapping or whatnot. But yeah, 6.5 day practice really threw me for a loop. Dealt with 10 to 11 degree water temperature drops. Windy the whole time. Just didn't really allow an out-of-stater to really get a good solid practice in. And little did I know, after being led astray with the offshore fish, I found the fish to take top 25, 30 down in Kissimmee. I just didn't know it because of the conditions wouldn't let me know it. I mean, I ain't making excuses because it's all about decisions, but started out the first day of the tournament, chasing after my offshore fish that I had going in practice. And I went to my 3 best spots, and it just didn't work out. Never got a bite. I had been catching him, on a 3/4 ounce queen tackle tungsten slip weight with a Carolina rig, rigged with about a 3-foot leader, using 20 pound McCoy fluorocarbon as the main line and 15 or 17 pound McCoy fluorocarbon as the leader, and I had it paired with black zoom worm, and I was throwing it on the Hayabusa WRM 114 worm hook. It's an awesome hook. It's got the NRB coating, doesn't rust, very fast penetration on the hook set. Anyways, long story short, those fish just eluded me, so I just ran to the bank in Toho. Toho is where I fished the first day. Ran to the bank in Toho and scrapped up 8 pounds. Started off in like 96 or something like that. So the next day, I said, screw going offshore, even though that's the only place I was catching big ones. I mean, literally the only place. I was throwing my Carolina rig on a 7'4" heavy rod, paired with 7 3-to-1 Ardent Apex Grand reel, 12 ball bearings, great reel, nice and smooth, long casts. Love them. So, day 2, I went out and fished. I went down and battled the lock. Took a bunch of time to get down there. Finally got down to Kissimmee. Went to the one area that I found and got a couple bites in practice. And it was slow until about 9:30 or 10, and that water warmed up about 1.5 degrees, but just started whacking them. I mean, I had 20, 25 bites. Lost a lot of fish, in the lily pads. It's just the name of the game. Even with big braid and the heaviest rod possible, you're going to lose them in the pads. The first day had 8.5 pounds. Second day had almost 12 pounds. And the second day I had the bites to have 14, 15 pounds. I just lost fish, in the pads, or the fish would miss the bait. Turns out the area I found was mostly fry garters. I was fishing the flat style pads, not the ones that stick up. I know there's a technical name for them, but I'm from Utah. What do you expect? So what I was throwing down in Kissimmee is just your standard Big Easy. I don't even know what color this one is, probably golden shiner or something. But what I really keyed in on, and it really made a difference, it made the bait pendulum down horizontally instead of, it just made it, when I would get into a hole or a pocket in the lily pads, I added a queen tackle 16th ounce tungsten to the front of the bait. It helped it come through the pads better, and it helped it keep horizontal when it was falling in the pads. And I was throwing braid in practice like everybody else, but the water I was fishing was really clear. And I just, every time I looked down in the water, my braid would be glowing. I just felt like I needed to use fluorocarbon instead. And I got a lot of bites, and I didn't lose any fish because of it. I mean, I was throwing a 7'6" heavy rod paired with a 7.3-1 Apex Elite Ardent reel. I mean, and then also paired with 20-pound fluorocarbon McCoy. I mean, I didn't break any fish off, and I was manhandling those fish out of there, no problem, and flipping them in the boat. It was just the matter of, ratios. You're going to lose fish in the pads when you fish in pads, and that's just the end of the story. Every fisherman knows that. One of my key elements I was using on this particular rig is I was throwing the, now it's a Hayabusa swim bait hook, 16th ounce NRB coating 6/0 hook. It's got just your typical screw lock on the front. It's removable, all around great hook, big gap. I'd really, if the bait was in the fish's mouth, you're not missing them, straight up. I mean, so that's the rig I was using, and I got more when I started putting this 16th ounce tungsten queen tackle weight on the front. I got more bites. It just made the bait swim better. It made it roll back and forth better, especially in the pockets when I would slow it down and expect a bite. These hooks are EC 952s. It's got the NRB coating. Check them out at hayabusafishing.com. These hooks are blowing up in the U.S., and I'm proud to be a member of the pro staff, and I truly believe in them. So when I would miss a fish, like when a fish would blow up on my easy, either under the surface or subsurface, and I'd miss him, I'd mentally mark where he was, and what I would do is just follow it up with a 6-inch stick bait rig wacky. I was throwing it on a WRM 202 Hayabusa weedless wacky hook. You had to throw weedless. It's just super thick. But I caught a lot of fish that I would miss, and I'd use it. The Big Easy was basically a locator, or they'd just eat it and I'd catch them like that. But never broke any fish off. Sometimes you just miss them, or the fish would miss the bait, or you'd wrap them up in the pads. Could have had 14, 15 pounds. Long story short, I was able to salvage 40 places. I moved from 96 up to 55th. My whole goal is to make the Elite Series. I want to be on the same pedestal as my boy Roy Hawk. Look at him. He's sitting second right now in his first Elite event. And yeah, it's a privilege to know him. The guy is a class act. But it feels good to make it home safe. It was a long drive there and back, 3 days each way, sleeping in the truck most of that time, except for when I was there. I mean, long practice days, just grinding it out. Like I said, though, I was able to salvage some good points to try to make the Elite Series and make the Bass Open Championship. I'll probably have to finish in the top 25 in the rest of the tournaments to make the championship or more. But at least I was able to salvage some points. So I made a good decision on day 2. Figured out that I was on the fish to top 30. But it's hard to know. That weather just didn't let me know. And this tournament fishing is all about decisions, fishing the moment, and mostly just decisions. I mean, and it's timing too. I just, I got thrown off by the offshore bite. I was catching big ones offshore. I posted a lot of big ones I was catching on my social media platforms, and it just didn't pan out. I mean, I didn't get bit offshore the first day. They went away. So made the decision to go down to Kissimmee and caught them pretty good, and wish I just went there the first day, but it is what it is. I encourage you guys to check out Ardent's reels, check out Hayabusa hooks. I know most people throw, various other brands, but give them a chance, give them a whirl. I'm telling you, I wouldn't fish or endorse products that I don't believe in. That's just not the way I roll. Hayabusa hooks are legit. I'm going to sit and sulk over, try to forget my decision making down in Florida. But it was awesome to go. I've never been in Florida, never fished there, so that felt good. And on to the next one, like we all say. I'd like to thank all my sponsors. I basically wouldn't be able to do this without them. Creepin Apparel, check them out at creepin.com. Big Boys Toys up in Ogden, Utah. They're a new supporting sponsor for 2018. Got a lot of great stuff. They sell four-wheeler, side-by-sides, dirt bikes, and so forth. They sell all the accessories, all the parts you need for any sort of off-road vehicle. They do a lot of custom work. They build custom buggies. I mean, just a great company, and I'm very proud to be associated with them. Queen Tackle. Man, they've got some great tungsten jigs. I don't even fish a jig unless it's tungsten anymore. I mean, you get more bites on tungsten. It's proven. They've got everything. Jigs, football jigs. Their football jig has a rattle in it, the hammerhead jig. Game changer. Try it. Trust me, try it. You can go ahead and get on queentackle.com. Use my discount code MLF20 at checkout. Get you 20% off. We know how expensive tungsten is these days. That'll help you out. The koi fishing line, been with me for years. It's the best line on the market. I truly believe in it. Paired up with TH Marine this year. Proud to be running their oxygenator. I've had a lot of dead fish penalties in the past, so hopefully that stops this year. And Ardent Reels, great products. Skeeter Yamaha ran great, and I put around in practice just to save the boat. I'm not into, I've got to sell the boat, and I want the next owner to have a nice boat that's not beat up, so I take care of it. Skeeter Yamaha ran great. I really thank everybody for all the support and the sponsors and the follows. It means the world to see somebody hop on my social media from Utah or from wherever and throw a comment out and show that they're watching and following. That's awesome. Well, it's Friday night. I'm gonna crack open a Diet Pepsi. Thanks for watching. Follow me at the next Bassmaster Open, Lake Norman, in May. It's gonna be a fun month. Got to go straight to North Carolina, then basically straight to California to fish the Western Regional. Yeah, the boss is gonna love that month. Maybe I'll just fish again for 2 years after that one. Anyways, thank you for following. Thanks for watching. If you're not following me on my social media platforms, please do. La Valley out.